Good morning, folks. Welcome to Bullets and Brass. I'm Remy, and today we are talking about ammunition reloading economics, basically. This is Friday. I believe it's the 19th. Might be the 20th. I can't remember. I'm all out of whack. It has been a crazy week. As you probably are aware, Corona is running wild, blah, blah, blah. Ammunition has literally flown off the shelves. Uh, I heard that my local Cabela's slash Bass Pro Shop basically was sold out entirely. Like even the oddball stuff was pretty much gone. Guns were selling rapidly. My usual online ammunition supplier basically said, "We give no more. We're not taking more orders until we get caught up, and we're a week out." And they're, I mean, pretty much out of stock too. They've sold what they had, and they're just trying to fulfill those orders and then restock. Which leads me to, well, what do you do? What are the economics of this? Because I don't normally buy ammo. I shoot a lot. I don't normally buy the ammo I'm using the most. I buy 22 rimfire. Uh, I buy specialty ammo like this where I'm testing this ammo. I'm not just shooting it normally. Same thing with this. This is inexpensive ammo. I don't buy it. I buy it for you guys. I buy it to test. I buy it because a friend wants some, for trying out in their rifle, and I'm buying ammo. What am I doing? I'm reloading. The simple answer is most of the time, for the things I shoot the most of, at least in rifles, I reload. Now, the economics of this are tricky. I'm going to run you through the numbers real quick. It's pretty simple. But the numbers are not the whole story. So, got my trusty little notepad. By the way, 9mm, don't reload it. Unless you've got some specialty need, don't reload 9mm. The economics pretty much have not worked out for that in a very long time. So 45 ACP is around $13.50 a box to reload. That's for a box of 50. Okay. For a little bit more money, you can get plated. It's up to you. Tola is the cheapest factory ammo you can get, pretty much. Tola is the same price. The cases are not reusable. On my 45 ACP, I assume you reused the cases a few times and didn't start with any. So that's key. The case is a big part of the cost. If you collect cases for a while, when you shoot factory ammo and then reload those, your cost per round goes way down. But Tola is not reusable cases. It is basically completely disposable. Same price. Winchester White Box, the traditional, I'm going to the range and I'm going to put some holes in a target and call it a day. Everybody and their brother's been using it for decades. $21 a box. Okay, from $13.50 to $21. Now, pistol is not where the real money is. Pistol ammo, pretty cheap per round overall. Let's step it up. I picked 308 for my math. You can pick your caliber. The more expensive the caliber to buy factory ammo, the better the reloading looks. Reloading costs are pretty static by weight. It really is kind of a materials cost. 308 is kind of a nice line because they make a ton of it. So it is like the bargain of the larger cartridges. 223, the line for reloading, if you're not going for accuracy, is pretty tight. It's more similar to 45 or even 9mm. If you don't care about the accuracy so much, reloading 223 is questionable. We'll get into why. So 308. I'm going to run through the factory stuff and then we'll do the reloading. Tola, and this is if you're buying in bulk, you got to buy like 500 rounds to get this price, but Tola is $33 per 100. All these are per 100, not like 50 for the pistol. Winchester White Box, $105 for 100. Privy Partisan, I think it was 150 grain soft points. It was the cheapest Privy ammo that I could find, $75. That was not mil spec stuff. That was civilian style ammo. The mil spec stuff was probably about the same. Superformance, so Hornady Superformance GMX 165 grain. This is a high performance hunting bullet. Deer, smaller elk, anything in that size range. So even if you're going overseas, anything in that range, those are $220 for 100 rounds. Now, would you buy 100 rounds? Maybe, if you were using them regularly for hunting and you wanted to make sure you were zeroed in. If you're hunting whitetails or other deer out west where you might have a 500-yard shot, you better know what your drop is at 500 yards with your setup. What is the dope for your setup, right? You got to shoot it. I mean, you can't just sit there and do the math on the calculator and go, that's what it's going to be. You do that to know where to start with, but every rifle's different. Every scope setup's different. Every rifle's different. The ammo is a little different in each lot. You got to test it. So 100 rounds isn't out of line. Maybe you don't buy another 100 rounds the next year if that's all you shoot out of that rifle. But just 100 rounds, right? How much does it cost to reload that round? $102. That's if you reuse the cases 3 times. I assume you started fresh with the Superformance load, and then you use them for plinking loads or whatever. But it's assuming 3 times on the cases. Or you picked up cases from when you use other ammo, and you're using them in that, because 308 cases, they're pretty good. They're pretty tough. $102. It's less than half. Less than half. Basic reloading, 150 grain or 147 grain FMJs for plinking or shooting steel, $55. Privy Partisan, $75. Winchester White Box, $105. I think that was a little off. I think that was showing a particularly high price, but it's what they wanted. I got all these prices off Midway because I got all the reloading prices off Midway. I didn't go bargain shopping. And then Tula, $33 per 100. Now, the equipment is kind of a mostly one-time cost. Honestly, I don't know that I would do it for pistol ammo if you shot normal common calibers and pistol. These days, the cost to get into reloading in volume, you're looking at like $1,500. You might be able to do it for a little less. You could spend a lot more. But that seems to be about the price point of a press, the various trays and cases and this and that. That's kind of a good starting point. I mean, you'll have to price out yourself. Pick a day, the price changes. Pick a brand, whatever. So you've got to make that back. And you've got to make that back in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, don't plan on 10 years, right? In pistol, if you're not shooting high volume, it's going to be tough. It's really tough. Now, if you're loading up specialty ammo, the math goes out the window. Reload, unless you've got somebody else doing it for you, where like a local shop will load ammo to your spec. But here's the key. If you're loading in volume to make that math work out better, you're using a lot of time. What is your time worth to you? Do you have the time? I'm a single guy, no family. I have a lot of hobbies, but reloading is one of them. If I spend a couple hours on a weekend reloading to get 2 or 3 weeks worth of ammo, who cares? No big deal, right? If you're a guy working 60 hours a week, 2 kids, a wife, don't do it. I'm dead serious. Like, I love reloading. I think it's wonderful. You've got to balance the life. Is the money you might save worth the time? You got to balance it, work-life balance. And even if you enjoy reloading, it is time spent. Now, people are going to say, how did I factor in the cost of all the miscellaneous stuff? Cleaning supplies for cases, polishing media, the various brushes and this and that are consumed. Basically a penny. It was under a penny. I'm looking at it down here. I couldn't remember for sure, but I believe it came out to 0.7 cents. So, I mean, yeah, it adds to your cost per round. But really, I mean, if you pick a different bullet, your cost per round is massively different compared to that. So, yeah, they're not insignificant in the global scheme of things when you're spending the money up front, but the per round cost doesn't matter. So, the economics are it's not just the cost per round, it's also your time. It is what is your time worth? Not just financially, but do you have enough of it to dedicate the amount of time and energy to reloading that it takes to make it economically make sense? If you've got to spend $1,500 on equipment and you don't have time to use it, you're going to wind up buying ammo anyway. So that's it. If you have any particular questions, if you are curious about a particular caliber, I can do the math if you want. I'm not going to do it for everybody, for everything. But for example, I imagine people are going to ask about 6.5, 300 Blackout, 6.5 Creedmoor, but maybe 6.5 Grendel, 6.8 SPC, 357 SIG, pretty much everything I mentioned, reload. No joke. Until cheap 300 Blackout is available, reload. If Wolf or Tolo is not available for your caliber and you're looking for plinking ammo, reload. If you're looking for precision ammo, you got to decide how precision and what your game is. If your game is strictly the shooting, find a factory load you like that works for you, go with it. That's all. Take care, have fun, stay safe, y'all, and keep shooting, whether you reload or not. Say hi.